What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a Dimir mid-range deck, which is kind of going a little bit Sheoldred Tribal. We only got to play the new 5-mana Sheoldred in the Abzan, I beg your pardon, the Golgari Incubate deck. But now I thought to myself, I want to try this in a little bit more of a control-y, like, you know, when you splash blue, you get some counter spells and things. Anyway, I'm rambling. Without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew, simply called Dimir Sheoldred. And win rates are pretty damn good so far. Preliminary testing is showing me getting around about 65% win rate with this one, upwards of 20 matches. Of course, you can always go check all of these stats on my Untapped profile. Link is in the description. But let's take it from the top. We've got 2 copies of Rona's Vortex. It's one of these kicker spells from Dominaria United. I think there could be an argument to be made here about just playing Fading Hope instead, because you can also save some of your creatures. But I don't know. I mean, flavor-wise, we're also running the new Rona, which I'll get to in a moment. So I thought, you know, why not? Like, it's Rona's Vortex, Rona's Herald of Invasion. And it is nice that you can also target the opponent's Planeswalkers and return them to their bottom of their library if you kick the card, which is, I think, really quite cool. But just a couple of, comes up in some matches. Then we got 3 copies of Cut Down. I mean, I've gone pretty heavy on the removal. We've got 3 copies of Cut Down, 3 copies of Go for the Throat, 2 Sheoldred's Edicts, as well as 3 Gix's Commands. It kind of like manages in one way or another to keep the board under control. And if we're not removing things, then we're either bouncing them with the Rona's Vortex, or we are negating them with our couple of counter spells over here. We've also got 2 copies of Siphon Insight, which is really, really nice. Like, I hardly ever played with this card, because these type of like yoink decks where you play the opponent's stuff isn't really the type of thing that I enjoy too much. But honestly, once it like goes off, it feels pretty nice. You start like using the opponent's removal spells on his stuff, or, you know, if you're in some kind of a black-based mid-range Mire, like snagging the opponent's Sheoldreds before they can cast them, is pretty damn freaking nice. And the fact that you have 2 and they have flashback essentially means that you can cast the spell 8 times during a game. Fan-freaking-tastic. So I've gone over all the 2 drops except for the one I was touching upon earlier. We've got one of the new cards here in Rona, Herald of Invasion. It's one of these transform cards where the front side is one color, but then you can transform it for, you know, the backside becomes Dimir. So you can either pay 5 colorless and 2 life, or 6 mana total, 5 colorless and 1 black. But the transform side is great. I'll get to that in a second, but the real reason it's in the deck is for the card draw. And of course, as you know, with Sheoldred in play, every time you draw a card, you gain 2 life. So it becomes a pretty good source of card advantage. And how do you draw the cards? Well, whenever you cast a legendary spell, you untap Rona. So, and then you can tap her to draw a card and discard a card. You know, interesting. Because, and I'll get to the main synergy in a second here with 5 mana Shelly, but just in general, like, pretty interesting. We've got a high amount of legendaries. We got Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor here. We've got Kaito Shizuki. We've got Sheoldred. We've got Kaito the Dancing Shadow, as well as 5 mana Shelly. These are all legendaries, so whenever we're casting them, we can, you know, first tap. And the cool thing is, like, it goes on the stack. So even if you forget to do it, it's kind of like, it always reminds me of, what's that? 2 mana red guy that you play in burn decks. Can never remember the name of this card, and then I always do this and I spend like 5 minutes looking for the damn thing. But, no. Anyway, the point of the matter is, it goes onto the stack. So even if you, here we go, the Thermo Alchemist. same thing. Like whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap it. So like it'll, even if you forget to tap Rona first to draw your card, whenever you cast a legendary, it like goes on the stack, and then you can quickly tap Rona, and then it untaps again, and you can, you know, draw 2 cards potentially. Of course, you're discarding every time, but like I said, there's a good reason for that discard as well, which we'll get to in a moment. So that's all of the 2 drops. On to the 3 drops, we got Gix, the Yawgmoth Praetor, which can also draw some cards whenever you get in for damage with Gix. You know, you can draw a card and pay 1 life. And then I've had this actually come across, you know, happen to me deep into late games quite a few times in testing. There's this ability that most people like, I mean, because it costs so much that they just kind of forget about it. You don't really play Gix for this ability. It's more just like a way to draw some cards. But actually, if in a deck like this that's a little bit more controlling, a little bit more mid-rangey, the situation where you have the 7 mana to actually do this comes up more often than not. And you can pay 7, discard X cards, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library, and then you may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So again, like Siphon Insight, Yawgmoth Praetor, these are all ways of like taking stuff from the opponent's deck and using them yourselves. But the real sweet new card for the deck, other than Rona, is the Invasion of Amonkhet. What a cool, like, I mean, this card is ever so slightly busted in my opinion. It's one of these new battles. It's only got 4 defense counters. When it enters the battlefield, each player mills 3 cards, so us and the opponent both mill. Then each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. So you're putting things into the graveyard where we want them to go, and then they also lose some card advantage and you gain some card advantage. And then once you flip it, or, you know, you remove the 4 defense counters from it, you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature card in a graveyard, except it's a 4/4 black zombie in addition to its other colors. So you can see why, like, even if we are discarding our own things to Rona, that's okay. And also the fact that it forces the opponent to mill cards, you know, that's good, because eventually when you flip it, you'll have more options to choose from, either your graveyard or the opponent's graveyard to copy with the Lazutep convert, and that's pretty damn nice. Then we got a couple copies of Kaito, you know, both the Kaitos, 3 mana Kaito and 4 mana Kaito. They just work really nicely in the deck. Like, we've all seen Kaito Shizuki now for quite some time. You can draw some cards whenever you attack, or you can just draw anyway, but then you discard. If you've attacked with something that turn, then you can also, you know, you don't have to discard. But the cool thing is, again, like I said, we kind of want to be discarding some of our stuff, because we'll probably get it all back later with 5 mana Sheoldred, which I promised I'm getting to in a second. But more often than not, you just make a little chump blocker guy that can't be blocked, this little ninja dude here, and then the following turn you can attack with it. It can't be blocked, so you'll always be able to +1 without being forced to discard cards. And of course, all of this, like, drawing that we're doing is great, like I mentioned, with good old 4 mana Sheoldred, which just continues to be a real freaking strong card no matter what new power level shenanigans are going on. Like, 4 mana Shelly is just continues to be absolutely busted. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. What a freaking house. Kaito, Dancing Shadow, also draws cards. So, you know, we're drawing so many cards. We actually gain, if Sheoldred's, like, I've come back against mono red so many times, just like finally you slam a Shelly, and then you just start drawing cards with all of these things and get right back up into the you know, above 10 life when I don't feel like I'm about to just be killed by a lightning strike to the face. Because, I mean, now that the meta has settled a little bit and people have been testing all sorts of nonsense, it's just gone straight back to a bunch of people just playing mono red aggro with turn 1 Kumano faces Kakazans and you're dead by turn 4. So we do need to gain some life quite often, and that Sheoldred here is our main way of doing so. But we've also got the -2 here from Kaito that creates a 2/2 colorless drone artifact creature token with death touch, and when it dies, or when it leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, so it'll gain and drain. And then you can bounce a creature back to your hand if it has been getting through for combat damage. And then you can activate loyalty abilities on this Kaito twice, and so then you can potentially draw 2 cards a turn, or make 2 creatures unblockable, that can't attack or block until your next turn. Like, absolutely freaking I just find it so weird that this one is mythic and this one's rare. I think the 4 mana one is just the altogether better Kaito and like well designed planeswalker and really strong card, whereas this was like but anyway, who knows what goes on in the minds of the peeps at WotC when they decide what gets which rarity. I guess because this is 3 mana, can come down a turn sooner, but in terms of loyalty abilities, the Dancing Shadow here, it just feels like the way better card in my opinion. And then finally onto the 5 drops. We got 3 copies of Gix's Command, bringing stuff back from the graveyard. Another source of life gain aside from the Sheoldred. You just like give your biggest creature, oftentimes the 5 mana Sheoldred herself, +2/+2 and lifelink until end of turn, and swing in with Menace, and you can turn the game around out of nowhere against these aggro decks. Also works fantastically as a sweeper against decks like Selesnya Toxic, Mono Red Aggro, any of these like little smaller low to the ground token decks. Off you go, bye-bye. And most of the time the opponent scoops after that. So just again, like this slot was always just, oh, let's just play 4 Invoke Despairs because it's obviously the best freaking thing that I can be doing in this slot. I'm trying to continue to provide brew ideas for you guys that don't include Invoke Despair, so that maybe slowly but surely that damn card will get phased out of playability because it's so annoying and boring to play against. So 3 copies of Gix's Command, absolutely loving it. And finally, but absolutely not leastly, 3 copies of the new 5 mana Shelly. This card is insane. 5 mana, 4/5 Menace. When it ETBs, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. Already that's just pretty nice, but then the flipping is really easy, especially because you've been like milling the opponent with a Lazotep, and you've been removing their things. Often opponents casting their own instant and sorceries that are ending up in the yard. By the time you play her, which often isn't like straight away on turn 5, it can be like turn 6 or 7, then the opponent will have 8 or more cards in their graveyards. Then you just pay 5 mana, flip the thing, and then again this time on the backside, when it becomes the true scriptures, it kind of does a similar thing to the front side when it ETBs. So for each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So the difference is the front side, the opponent has to sacrifice. On the back side, you get to target. So I mean, often you play her, they get rid of something. The very next turn, you flip it and you get rid of the other thing, and there's like board is now clear. Then second chapter. Each opponent discards 3 cards, then mills 3 cards. Kind of very similar to what happens when the Invasion of Amonkhet enters the battlefield. And then finally, Chapter 3, if you get it to go off. A lot of people are starting to run Destroy Evil again, because these are enchantment sagas, and they just kill your saga before it can flip back into Shelly. But if you get to the 3rd chapter, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. And then it comes back as Sheoldred, and you again get to force the opponent to sacrifice. I mean, it's... if you don't win the game after that turn, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, that's the plan. We're forcing them to mill things with this, and we're removing all of their stuff, and then eventually Sheoldred flips, and we get all of that stuff back to the battlefield under our control, and whatever they were able to remove of ours, we also get back as well. So... absolutely busted, and I hope to get it to go off at least a couple of times during tonight's gameplay footage. As far as the mana base goes, it's fantastic because Dimir got one of the new dual lands. So we got a total of 12 dual lands, sneaky one of Blast Zone and Field of Ruin for some additional like utility lands in a slightly more controlling shell. We've also got 2 Otawaras to bounce things and 2 Takenumas to bring planeswalkers, creatures, all of our stuff that we have in the grave back to our hand. 3 beautiful Godzilla islands and 3 beautiful Godzilla swamps. That is the deck. Dimir, Sheoldred. Let's jump into some games and see how the deck performs on the Mythic ladder. Hopefully, no Streamer's Curse, because in testing it has been absolutely amazing. Like, the kind of control-y deck that I prefer as opposed to just like a million sweepers and counter spells. Got some planeswalkers in here, got some cool win cons, multiple ways of drawing cards. Oh, let's get my headphones on. Hey, that isn't terrible, honestly. Aha! Toxic opponent identified. Two copies of God for the Throat is good. We're just looking for a 4th land to play Sheoldred, and then we kind of off to the races. Oh! Oh! Okay, so we just don't play anything. It's very strange. Okay, forget anything I said about anyone playing any toxic. This is clearly not the case. Seems to be some kind of Selesnya control deck. I guess. I mean, ramping into what? I wonder. We have no ways of dealing with artifacts, unfortunately. Now,
the system can't fix everything.
Mr. Topiary here doesn't block, so we can swing in freely.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
It's just the Silex like hanging over. Yeah, this is weird, man. This is some kind of Selesnya control deck. I wish I knew what the hell the opponent was doing, but this Khan Silex is a real problem. We have to like force him to use it. That's what I mean by it goes on the stack.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
I mean, if that doesn't force his hand to trigger the Silex, I don't know what will. Maybe he's got just a classic sweeper. Good old depopulate-y. There it goes. Destroy. Not exile. I'm quite okay with that.
Being uninvited.
We're gonna Takenuma EOT. I wish I knew what the hell they were doing here. I'm not too worried about these stompers, but I'm just more kind of interested in figuring out what the opponent's trying to do, like what the strategy is. That's the best part about this time of in the format. It's like It's only 3 cards in the graveyard, so we can't flip her yet, but still a 4/5. I'm starting to think there may be some shield. I mean, some Wandering Emperors. I mean, if you're playing what so far feels like some kind of... Okay, that's pretty painful. That's pretty annoying, not gonna lie. I mean, why not, right? Sheoldred Tribal, let's go. Four Mirex. I'm so confused. I think if you're Wandering Emperors, my Sheoldred, I'm actually going to destroy my own Sheoldred. Okay, that's cool. I wish I had one more mana for Negate. God, these types of matches are so boring. It's like, okay, man. Just gain 1,000,000 life. Do nothing, essentially. Oh, we got Negate up. See what he tries to do. The cool thing is he's not playing any blue, so there's no way that he's going to be getting like his White Sun's Twilights back. Unless he's also playing what's the card? The oh my goodness. Green enchantment creature from Kamigawa. Oops. Bop bop. Yes! Fucking hate that card, man. So dumb. I didn't even check what modes he picked there. More mana is good. He's up to 8 cards in the yard, so... I mean, if he's trying to kill us with poison... I wish I had another, negate. I may need to go up to 3 negates, honestly. This card ruins my day every single day. There's never one day when this card doesn't just completely ruin my life. Like, it's so freaking boring to play against. But we still got plenty of gas in the deck. Case in point. He can't be running 3 of them, can he? What's the point of the green? Aha. Cool. We're just gonna really enjoy sweeping this board up. Bazoink! It's got a handful of removal that we probably just don't need. Oh. Okay, forget I said anything. non-token. Doesn't matter if you make one. Sheoldred's Edict. So nice. Now, we could go for this thing. Yeah, and discard some stuff and whatnot, but I think I'm more interested in... Well, first of all, swinging. There was a third farewell. Gain 1. Oh no, you asshole. Okay, that's problematic. Let's see if we can't find an answer to Khan Silex in the opponent's deck. I'll just take that because it's the better thing to have. So this also kills our Amonkhets. You slimy bugger. You slimy, slimy bugger. What kind of a weird-ass deck is this, man? Oh well. We've got ways of bringing these back, but we're running out of those ways rapidly. What's still left in the deck? What a stupid deck. Like, I just don't understand. You're still gonna try and get the win with this stupid stuff. Hey, look, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 9. I wonder what's in his hand, man. Probably nothing worth talking about. Get freaking stuffed, Mr. A Million Sweepers. Oh my goodness. There's nothing more satisfying to me than beating somebody who runs Farewell in their deck. Stupid card. Well, that would have taken him down to 1. Anyway, whatever. A win is a win. Not the most entertaining gameplay ever. It's virtually nothing going on for, what was that, 29 minutes? We'll probably end up going a little longer with this one because I want to actually flip Shelly. And our first match there wasn't... it was just the opponent doing his best to control... Ratskin? That's a great hand. We just need mana. Mana, 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 mana. But yeah, that is a very juicy hand. We'll probably jump into the deck and do some quick BrewLabifications as soon as we get past this match. I want to add another copy of Negate into the deck. Like 2 feels good, but 3 better. Sorry. The wife calling me. Sure. Land, please. Oh my god. Man, 2 in a row. Oh god, I hate this card so damn much. I just wish it would never have been printed. And now we've got to deal with Sunfall as well. Alright, so it's just Orzhov Walkers. Oh, I had a bad feeling about this one, mate. Bad feeling about this one.
Hope you're ready for some old games. It's like
Bad feeling.
aren't even there.
All the most toxic cards in Standard. IMO. Wandering Emperor. Farewell. How are we gonna do this?
Blood for knowledge.
Cut down.
Fair trade.
I'd honestly be more like stoked if you played a. Okay. So let's play out gigs. Swing. Hey, I still got to attack.
Then guide it like you're done.
Land? Yes,
I
please.
know something.
Now we got Negate. Negate is good. Like, when am I supposed to be using this Negate? That's the real question here. It's as good a time as any. Get stuffed! Stupid, stupid, stupid deck.
I bring my own army.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Yeah, you won't stop me. I can run circles around you.
Years of training. For this?
There's no secret I can't.
Mana's fine. Mana, we're good. And that's 3 Wandering Emperors down the toilet. Thank goodness.
Nothing on Innistrad.
But yeah, I feel like I need more Negates for this. Love it when the deck just listens like that, man. Ooh!
You can't fight what you can't see.
Because now we can negate the inevitable 4th Wandering Emperor that he somehow found in the top cards of his library. No? Yeah!
Have not gone my way.
So now I'm just more worried about playing my Shelly into another Farewell. But we've got the Negate. So let's draw a card with Shelly on board. And gain some life.
I know something.
And this is also Planeswalker removal, so very happy with that. No worries, mate.
Whatever.
Yes! Taking down 2 farewell idiots in a single night. Doesn't get much better than that, honestly. Like, it's just a way to ruin a perfectly nice game of Magic. I just cast farewell. Look at me, I exile everything. Ooh. Ugh, I'll never get behind cards like that. I'm sorry, like, it's just not my playstyle. Like, and I hope I'm not offending any of my viewers that are into that kind of stuff. Play what you will. Magic is meant to be played in many different ways that make everybody happy. And but like personally, cards like that just ruin the game. Invalidates so many strategies. Okay, that's a first proper mulligan we've had to take. A tough call, that one. Bant, or is it going to be please give me mana, please give me mana. It could be we milled one land there. Okay. Wow, just like 3 matches against control decks in a row. The matchmaker always loves to throw me these curveballs whenever I'm playing this type of stuff. Like, okay, so no counter magic. At least there's that much. I mean, it doesn't feel like there was any. Maybe he's just playing the headquarters for some cycle lands action. At least I'm not running into Wandering Emperors. Which always makes me happy.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
This time... Okay, what's he gonna make us get rid of? Obviously, because then he can also swing into my Kaito. Okay, so this is just a freaking mirror that I got thrown off because I saw the headquarters. He's probably playing this so that he can run the Black Sweeper. Problem is, he knows full well what's in my hand. I need more negates. Hey, let's put a Shelly on the board. Who cares? Like, am I just gonna hold it there forever? There's freaking Atraxa too. He just needs Cruelty of Kicks, but we've got 2. Go for the throats. Hey, what do you know? God, okay, so But now we know why he had the headquarters, so he can actually hard cast Atraxa. And if he's got a counter for this, we just play 5 mana Shelly next turn. Perfection. Now he's tapped out. He knows I have this, so I'm pretty surprised. Also, that's 2 of his Cruelty of Gixes down. The chances he's got another one in his hand are pretty high because of the bloody damn. So you know what we do? Bye-bye. Off you go, mate. Oh my goodness, what a night. Just bunch of these like control-y type things. Woo! 3 straight wins, baby. And we've arrived at the 45-minute mark. I think we can just call it a night. I just wish we could have done like more with our deck. Like I built it to play against more like creature. You know, this deck runs really nicely against things like Selesnya Toxic and whatnot, and the Shuffler just served us up 3 control decks, but we were able to squeak the wins out regardless, and I've run out of time. So we're going to jump back into the deck with my final thoughts and overall review, and then I'm going to show you some stats on my Untapped. But yeah, what can I say? I mean, it's friggin' nice. Like, didn't get to do the BrewLabifications, but if I were to add another Negate, I think I may just cut one of the Ronas and do something like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Maybe is there a better counterspell that we could run instead of Negate? I don't think so. It's just clean and easy, and the main stuff we're going to be trying to negate are things like Farewell, like Wandering Emperors that really kind of put a wrench in our spokes. But otherwise, the list feels freaking strong. Like, I've been, again, let me just show you some stats so you don't have to take my word for it. Get over here. Gotta open my OBS. Do this and this. 11 for 5. 69% win rate. Nice. Yeah, what else can I say? I mean, we could definitely do some more extensive testing. It's not the biggest sample size, but on the whole, I feel really, really good. See, like what I mean here about the Selesnya Toxic matchup, gone 4-1. Although that was probably one of these Selesnya players was the one we just beat now, which wasn't Toxic, Ave de Sol. But yeah, I mean, fairly good matchups. I lost against one like Domain dude. I lost to a Grixis midrange. This one I had no lands. Like I just drew no lands, so I felt like I could have won it anyway. But anyway, overall, very happy with the performance. I'm gonna now make it visible so you guys can go copy it there too if you like. But that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Thank you all so much for watching. We're getting so close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. We're about 20 subscribers away. So if you did enjoy the video, kindly consider subscribing. Of course, sharing it around to all your friends. That really helps me out. And liking and commenting helps with the algorithm. So please go do all of those things. I will be seeing you all in the next one. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.